So how long did it take you to get your first deal? Did you have like a mentor on the way? Were you watching videos, courses?
Absolutely no mentor, which I should have done. Like if, again, the mentorship, a legit mentor obviously is going to cut the learning curve. For me, I was YouTube University.
Yeah.
I had a
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. Welcome back, guys. Got a great guest for you guys today. If you are interested in real estate or wholesaling, I got Nick Luevano in the building, Flip King. How's it going?
Amazing. Great to be here, Sean.
Yeah, it's good to finally meet in person, man.
I'm obviously been a couple of your events. Good to finally kind of, get in depth today.
Yeah, I've seen what you've been doing for years. Very interested in the model. How did you get started in wholesaling? And actually, first of all, what is wholesaling?
So wholesaling is essentially being the middleman, right? Essentially, you are the middleman between the seller and the actual end buyer. Mm-hmm. So essentially, a good example would be if I offered you $100,000 for your property. Keep it super simple. And I, found a buyer who was interested in that property, and I said, "Hey, I have this property. You can flip it, or you can turn it into a rental, and the cost is $130." Mm-hmm. Well, that buyer is going to do his due diligence, going to possibly walk it and agree upon that particular price. So the seller, you will walk away with $100,000. I will keep the spread of $30,000, and that end buyer will end up purchasing it for $30,000, and either flip it, sell it for $200, $225, or just turn it into a rental. So you're like the middleman.
Nice.
Yeah, in between.
And how hard was it getting started? Did you need a lot of money? Did you need a lot of connections?
So I tell people this: if you're out there and you are looking to get involved in real estate, and a lot of people don't have capital, number one, or number two, they don't have expertise. Mm-hmm. Flipping a house could be ridiculously scary, whether it's $100, $200, $500 million price point with no expertise.
Right.
So for me, anybody looking to get involved, wholesaling is your way, because there's no cash, no credit, and very little experience necessary to earn a profit. And then with that profit, you can, choose to reinvest it, and then obviously hopefully get into fix and flip rentals like I, did down the road.
I like the model because you're providing value on both sides. You're helping the seller find a buyer, helping the buyer find a house. Seems like it's a win-win. Yeah,
a lot of times the seller's in different situations. They could be distressed, divorce, liens, judgments, a death, or they're just tired. Mm-hmm. They're 60, 70 years old. They live in California, but their property is in Dallas, and they're like, I don't feel like dealing with it. This guy's offering me X amount of dollars as is, and I could walk away in 14 days cash.
Right.
So they're ultimately, we call ourselves a solution-based, company, to where we're going to create a creative solution to help out that seller. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get your first deal? Did you have like a mentor on the way? Were you watching videos, courses?
Absolutely no mentor, which I should have done. Mm-hmm. Like if, again, the mentorship, a legit mentor obviously is going to cut the learning curve. For me, I was YouTube University.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine with a little bit of experience. So we teamed up and started door knocking foreclosures for 30 days.
Wouldn't no one be inside though if it's foreclosed?
No, the sellers are going through foreclosure.
Oh, okay. So pre-foreclosure?
Yeah, pre-foreclosure or foreclosure with an actual auction date.
Right. So you would knock on their door and say, "Hey, do you need help selling this?"
And foreclosures are very difficult, challenging, conversation with anybody. They're going through like a crazy situation. So for us, our pitch was like, "Hey, we heard about your situation with the bank."
Okay.
Because coming at someone going through foreclosure saying, "Hey, we want a buyer," it's just a little bit aggressive.
Right. They think you're kind of manipulating them.
Possibly.
Right.
So we'd go in with that. And to be honest, I didn't get a deal. Doing it that way for my first 30 days.
Wow.
And that was tough. We were driving from Los Angeles to Sacramento, California, and we'd knock every foreclosure happening from LA to Sacramento.
Yeah.
We could leave on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back like Sunday.
And no deal.
Zero deal. Not even like a potential lead.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't until I started telling people throughout those first 30 days that I was buying houses, to where actually a referral
Shout out to today's sponsor, Rocket Money. Guys, you ever feel like money's just flying out of your account? Well, this app might be able to help you because there's something called subscriptions that are eating at your bank account every single month. And there's apps you don't know about. Delivery apps, streaming services, you name it. You're probably getting charged a monthly fee by a lot of companies and you don't even know. You can see all your subscriptions in one place on the Rocket Money app, and you can cancel all the unwanted subscriptions with one tap. They'll even try to get you a refund for the last couple of months and negotiate your bills to be even lower by up to 20%. All you got to do is take a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that basically finds and cancels unwanted subscriptions. They help you monitor your spending, and they help you lower your bills. Rocket Money has been a great experience for me personally. They've saved me money, hundreds of dollars on bills. They were able to go through all of my credit cards, all of my bank statements, see what I was paying for on a monthly basis. And I found a ton of stuff that I don't even use, honestly. I had an Xbox Game Pass that was being charged monthly. I don't even play games. That one was years old. And they also lowered some of my bills. My phone bill and my Wi-Fi bill were pretty high. They were over $150 a month, and they were able to cut down on those prices. So all in all, shout out to Rocket Money, great product. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/DSH. That's rocketmoney.com/DSH. Link will be in the description below.
Came to me and said, "Oh, I know someone who's going through a tough situation. Mm-hmm. You might want to reach out to them. Here's their number." No experience. I'm like kind of shaking on the phone, talking to a seller for the first time. And that person ended up being $30,000 behind on taxes and also going through a foreclosure. And my first 30 days ended up getting that property under contract with that seller and made 90 grand.
Whoa. So
First
you
30
found
days.
a buyer and then you made 90 grand commission basically?
Yeah, we should have made $140. If I knew what I was doing and wasn't 30 days into the business, we should have made $140,000.
So what was that mistake that costed $50K?
I think that we were just so young.
Right.
And we were just, it was myself, my past business partner. We were doing the deal together, but we were just so young and we should have purchased it ourselves, flipped it ourselves. And so we just didn't want the foreclosure date to take place. So we kind of just went with like one of the first couple buyers. I was like, I can offer you this amount. And today we would have purchased that thing and like,
yeah. Because once the foreclosure hits, it's out of your reach, right?
Done.
Goes to auction.
Goes to auction, and the seller nor you, you're bidding on it now.
Yeah. So how long does a house stay in pre-foreclosure on average?
It just depends. I think there's a lot of, for us, we don't target foreclosures, pre-foreclosures anymore.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many programs out there that actually people could utilize, tricks and all different sorts of, depends on the seller, how savvy they are with the rules and regulations that took place. So typically a house can be in foreclosure. If the seller is really like savvy and knows how to use Google, you're talking about like 6, 9, 12 months.
Damn.
Before an actual like foreclosure date.
Wow. It's a good amount of time.
Yeah. Especially, I live in California, so it's foreclosure friendly.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, it must be rough being a house owner there, renting out to people.
Yeah, and then squatters can take place. And
I've heard about that. So if they're in your house for, a month, they can live there?
Oh, they can really camp out for 6, 9 months before you can actually get them out. But in Texas, Midwest, Oklahoma, it's a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
So like the sheriffs with the right, court date and stuff can get them out within like 90 days.
Yeah, I'd rather live somewhere like that personally.
Yeah, I buy a lot of houses in the Midwest now. Not as much,
nice.
Not as much California.
Yeah.
Specifically because of the tenant laws. So
Okay.
Midwest is like, very
in and out.
Yeah, the sheriffs get aggressive. They knock on your door and they can literally almost.
But for real, like if you're putting so much money up, wouldn't you want to feel like someone just can't come in there and live there? You know what I mean?
It's a crazy thing because right in the beginning of a lease agreement, everyone's friendly.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe their credit check, checks out, or maybe they have a guarantor. Or at the end of the day, once they're moved in, they're in.
Right.
And it can get really crazy trying to get them out without paying.
Have you had to deal with that?
I have.
Jeez.
I have. We utilize some pretty good property management companies, and then we've like really focused in on the qualifications.
Right.
For who we allow to live in rental properties that we own.
Yeah. So you're also doing rental properties?
Yeah. So we focus, I'd say like 90% of my business is wholesaling.
Okay.
Right. The other 5 is fix and flip. So traditional fix and flip, try and buy 1 to 2 a month. And then the other 5% is just primarily, cash flow rental properties all throughout the country.
Yeah.
So, the beauty of the wholesaling business, it's a marketing business. And you have contractual rights to purchase a property or to assign it to a buyer for a profit.
Wow.
So for us, when we contract a property, we don't just, okay, we're going to wholesale it and make 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 grand. So for me, I look at it, I'm like, what's the most profitable disposition? Wholesale it, quick money, 30 days. Flipping it, a bigger spread, you're talking about 90 to 120 days typically. Or just take it down as a rental, cash flow, and appreciation all day.
So you pick the model that makes the most sense for the property. That makes that makes sense.
And that's really that's the power of the wholesaling business, which is essentially a marketing business, is you can figure out the most profitable disposition. Now, if you're new and you're like, man, I could barely afford gas, you're wholesaling all day, right? Or
until you stack up some bread.
100%. Then you have more leverage, and you're like, well, maybe I don't want to wholesale it because I don't need 30K or 40K.
Yeah.
I can flip it and make 90, or just boom, start to build that empire.
What do you think of this new creative financing sub-2 method that's going around everywhere?
I think it's interesting, and I think that there's so many ways to make money in real estate. I personally believe a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Right.
So I like to focus in. I don't do very many sub-2s. I do like lease options and things of that nature, but I think it's great. And I think if you're an investor out there, figure out what is going to be your one or two strategies and then zone in.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. A good buddy of mine, I'm sure you know Pace.
Yeah.
He's like the sub-2 guy.
Killing it.
Yeah. And what's funny is I met Pace before he was sub-2 Pace. I remember he came to my office with Cody, his business partner, years ago, before he really blew up, to have a conversation about real estate. So,
yeah, he was doing like rentals for a while, right?
Yeah, he came. My office was in Burbank. He came down with Cody, sat down with me, my business partner, and we just talked real estate. And then boom, I just saw this guy
take off, man.
Skyrocket. By the way, I think, sub-2, great. Just kind of, for me personally, you got to focus in, zone in on, one or two or three, and then just, take it all the way.
Yeah. So going back to that first deal where you made 90K, I mean, from there you've grown tremendously. Now you're doing over 10 mil a year, right? Like, what was that growth like?
I came from the network marketing industry. And so I think that I was in network marketing for 5 years. And that's really what catapulted my real estate business. A lot of people don't know this. Because in that business, I got introduced to personal development, obviously belly to belly sales. I was public speaking in front of thousands of people.
Right.
And I mastered the art of communication. So what took place was I just took my skills from network marketing and then just put it into a bigger vehicle. And I think that's what a lot of people really got to understand is sometimes you're winning, but you're winning at the wrong game.
Powerful.
And, for me, I was like selling products in network marketing where they were maybe the top of the chain was like a $3,000 product. And I tell people, you can't make a $50,000 or $100,000 or $150,000 commission on a $3,000 product.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Yeah. No way. So for me, I just took the skills and put them into a bigger vehicle. And then obviously, systems and processes, procedures, hired some mentors, and then was able to scale to what we're doing today.
Dude, I love that because I put myself in the same box. I was doing low ticket e-commerce for a while. And once I made that switch to high ticket info products, high margin products, I mean, my life changed.
Yeah. And it took me, I think I started in maybe 5-ish years to be able to realize this.
Yeah, same.
And now people can listen to, your podcast and kind of learn and say, hey, look, maybe I'm winning in the car business, or I'm winning in the, network marketing business or the t-shirt business. And it's just like, hey, I have a really powerful skill set. What else can I structure and broker that could potentially give me a higher commission?
Absolutely. I love that. I've also seen you talk about the importance of mindset on a few other podcasts. You talk about cutting negative people out of your life. Did you have that issue at first with a lot of people around you?
It's funny. My most negative people was when I was in the network marketing business. People have that like perception of like the, pyramid scheme, Ponzi,
right.
Network marketing, guy at the top makes all the money. So I think that really, I guess, grew my tough skin because, and so during that period of time, I was able to, realize disassociation, limited association, and then 100% just like, you got to go.
Right.
And now it's difficult for me to have a conversation with anybody where it starts to turn negative, because I'll just kind of get up and look for an exit, because it's like I can't even fathom to exchange energy with anybody because it's not going to get anywhere.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, so it's like, and then obviously I grew up, I was like, network marketing, I was probably mid-20s, now I'm older, and I'm just kind of realizing like, hey, as you grow income-wise, business-wise, it's like, the people you're around or the people you let around you, like, what are they really here for?
Right.
I think that comes with maturity and
For
obviously
sure.
some big learning lessons.
Yeah.
It's not like, come over and here's this and here's that and that guy's over, and it's not any of that anymore, for sure.
I mean, where I grew up, it was so normal just to gossip and talk like about people in high school that it took me a while to get that mentality out of my mindset. You know what I mean? Now when I'm around that, I'm like, can we talk about something else? Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? Well, click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
Yeah, I think, I think the biggest challenge, I have a lot of consulting clients. Now I have my real estate investment business, and I have a consulting company as well. Mm-hmm. And part of my, I guess, the programs that I structure with my clients, is a portion of his mindset.
Yeah.
Because, believe it or not, if you're not structurally sound in some capacity, finances, spiritual life, your relationship, whether you're, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, and negativity is coming from even mom and dad. It's like, how can I operate at a high level? Right. So you got to really be careful on who you're around, and most importantly, who you listen to.
Yeah. No, I love that, man. Because a lot of people do have negativity in the family. Like, some people won't admit it, but there's going to be some jealousy at play in most families when someone's successful.
Yeah, it's a scary thing. And like, a lot of times you won't even notice it's happening.
No, you don't.
It's like, mom and dad are talking about X, Y, and Z, and then boyfriend and girlfriend are talking about X, Y, and Z, and then your friend's talking about going to the bar tonight, and you're just like, dude, fuck.
Yeah.
It's coming from all different places, and you got to be really careful, because you can end up, wasting years.
Yeah. What type of sacrifices would you say you had to make to get to where you're at?
I think the biggest sacrifice was in the first 3 years of real estate investing. Mm-hmm. I was obsessed with the business, and a lot of people ask me, like, how were you so focused or obsessed? I was working, I don't know, 7 days a week, 8-10 hours a day, trying to get the business up off the ground, reinvesting, so on and so forth. And I tell people, the bigger the why, the easier the how. And people are like, well, how can I stay focused, or how can I not go out and party every weekend, or how can I, wake up? I'm like an old school real estate guy, so I'm usually up at like 4:30.
Wow.
And they're like, how do you do that? And I'm just like, well, it's the reason behind why I'm doing it. Because once the reason behind why you're doing certain things is strong enough, right? The why, so simple, but the why, then the how just slowly but surely becomes, a habit. And then people start to gravitate toward that because they love. For me, I'm very structured.
Right.
Like I said, old school,
Yeah.
real estate guy. I came up in a world where it was like, you're up pretty early.
Yeah. What was your upbringing like? Family important, or what was that dynamic like?
I'm blessed. Both of my parents believe in higher education, which I still, to this day, still believe in. I'm like, I'm an advocate for education. Do I believe you need to go to college to become successful? Absolutely, positively, no. But I believe, I went to college, got a 4-year degree at San Diego State, and I believe it taught me so much, more or less along the facts of I was able to start something and actually finish it.
Right.
Where most people, for whatever reasons, may not. So I was really blessed. Both my parents went to college. They both worked corporate jobs. And I think what I was able to see growing up was consistency, right? They were just the most consistent people, Monday through Friday, waking up early, going out. And they worked in the insurance business. So they didn't make bad money. I saw the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, that's commission-based, right?
They were actually on salary.
Okay.
They worked for these big companies, State Farm Insurance.
Got it.
Like the Allstates, but they moved up the chain. And I think the biggest thing was just seeing their consistency and then seeing their fruits. And it taught me a lot. And then obviously my mom is like old school Hispanic, like you're going to college or you're out of the family.
Wow.
Type vibe. So I have 3 brothers. All of us went to college, got degrees, because it was like you're like that guy at the dinner table.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Similar to Asian culture then.
Very similar, I'm sure. Yeah, 100%. You know, but like I said, I'm very lucky because, you know, I guess my mom was preaching education, but at the same time she was preaching, you know, structure. And in order to get a degree, you got to at least show up to class once in a while.
Yeah. You
got to pass a couple tests here and there, and that takes dedication and some structure. And I definitely was not the smartest guy.
Yeah, you can't just, I mean, there's very few people that can just get a degree without studying and structure.
For me, I was like, it took some effort, believe it or not.
No, I'm the same. Like, even though I have the street smart with school smart, I always needed to actually lock in, you know?
Yeah, you went to school as well?
I tried, yeah. I went to Rutgers for a year.
Okay.
But I was so focused on the business that, like, if I just focused on college, I would have, you know, got a degree.
Which is actually a very interesting topic because I didn't get introduced to entrepreneurship until 6 months before I graduated.
So you probably would have faced the same issue I had.
I would have definitely probably contemplated leaving.
Right.
And so I got introduced to network marketing 6 months before graduation. Became one of those like success stories within the company. I became top 3%, making hundreds and thousands of dollars within 6 months of getting involved. I just was like, hit it off the ground. So I introduced the concept to my brother, who was 2 years younger than me. And he got so excited about it, started making money with it as well. He actually took a break from school. So if I would have got introduced, I think he was like a sophomore, junior. I'd probably face that same challenge.
Was your mom pissed he dropped out?
You know what? Initially, she was pissed.
Yeah.
She was pissed, and I don't even remember the conversations, but they were not good.
Damn.
But he ended up going back. Graduated business, and now he's doing well. So
nice. So what was harder for you, making that first 100K or going from 100K to $1 million?
The 100K.
Yeah, same.
The 100K. You know, I was making decent money in network marketing, but it was like whenever you start a new business, I tell people this all the time, especially the consulting students. It's like you got to get your first deal done because your believability is just going to go through the roof.
Right.
And I remember that first deal, although, and this doesn't happen often, like the 90K in 30 days, doesn't happen often. That was like, I believe that was God. And it was God saying, hey, here's this success story so you can go ahead and be on your path. Like, I firmly believe it was him 100%. But once that wire hit, I go, this is it. Like, this is it, burn the boats. Like, I was in Cancun at the time. Wire hits in Cancun.
That's awesome.
So when I get back, you know, I'm doing this thing and my life changed. So the first 100K, 1,000,000%.
Yeah. And people think I'm crazy when I say that, but like, I think it took me 3 or 4, maybe 3 years to make the first 100K from when I started trying. And then it took less time to make $1 million than it did to make 100K.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you did a poll, a lot of people would probably feel that way. I just in the beginning, you're just so like, is this going to work?
Right.
Right. And I'm putting time, energy, effort, and sometimes all this time, energy, effort, and no results.
Yeah. Cause like you said earlier, you don't know what's possible. Right. So once you get there, you're like, oh, this is possible. So your mindset sort of evolves, I think. And now you get used to making $1 million a year. And then there's more levels.
And keep in mind, I was door knocking for closures.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now that it was the most challenging thing I ever did. Network marketing wasn't network marketing. It wasn't scaling beyond $1 million. It was door knocking foreclosures in the summer of 2015 or 16, whatever it was, and having these intense conversations with people in a distressed situation in, I'd say, 100-degree heat. Sacramento, Madera, Central California. That's nuts. Gets up there.
And you're just getting so many no's. Like, you've really pushed through that.
Yeah, no's and no answers and dogs and a gun pulled once.
You got a gun pulled?
Gun pulled.
Damn. Yeah, because they probably have other people approaching too, doing what you were doing, right?
Yeah, I would leave notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd leave a note. You know, even if they were mad, I'd have a pre-written note, and I would leave it like in between their door with my phone number and say, hey, if you want help, you know, call me.
Yeah. But it paid off, man. That led to your first deal, right?
It did. And yeah, I look back on those experiences and I share them because people that get into any type of business, you got to understand, like they see like the glitz and glamour from all the successful people,
Right.
on IG or whatever it is, but you don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Hell no. You're in the those first few years. Man, I was depressed. I was broke. I was dealing with a lot of mental issues those first few years, to be honest. Depression, loneliness. It's not easy.
Yeah, and then you said you left college, so your parents were probably
Yeah, mom was pissed. Yeah, she was Asian, so like she went to the best university in China, and that was super important to her
nice.
education. So I understand why she was pissed. But it's a new generation, man. You know, if my kids don't want to go, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, for me, I feel like uh, I'm gonna present the idea,
Hmm.
and I guess they're gonna make that end decision. But I actually love, I enjoyed those first couple years of college.
I had a lot of fun. I learned, yeah, I had a lot of fun. Definitely learned how to talk to girls. Learned how to network with fraternity brothers, and do business. I made the most of it.
100%.
I think people can definitely waste it by just locking themselves in their dorm room. Some kids did that.
Which is insane to me.
Yeah, you got to get out there.
Yeah, I was actually also in a fraternity, and the guy that introduced me to network marketing, which the only reason why I got into real estate was because of network marketing, but he was actually one of my fraternity brothers.
Oh, nice.
So I tell him all the time, I'm like, man, if you didn't like bring me into a meeting to see network marketing, I don't know, I'd probably be in corporate America, possibly somewhere.
Yeah.
Floating around.
Yeah, no, I like those fraternities. They get a lot of hate, but like teaches you valuable skills, and it's almost like a mastermind. Like you're surrounded by all these guys, and you can sort of find your clique.
Yeah, and I think it's also, I'm still best friends with, I'd say like 6 or 7 guys.
Yeah,
To this day, we talk, I don't know, once a week, post text and whatever it is, random FaceTimes. Still really good friends because you have those bonds and those experiences, and they'll be my buddy. They'll be at my wedding
that's awesome.
for sure. Yeah.
Damn. So what's next for you, man? I mean, you're wholesaling. Do you want to stay locked in on this, or do you have other ventures you're working on?
I think the wholesaling business, the flipping business, is a cash cow, right? It allows you the ability to make hundreds and thousands of dollars if you know what you're doing. You get it done, and so now I like to look for opportunities to invest into multiple different verticals that can produce income.
Right.
And so I'm oftentimes meeting guys just like you and traveling and networking and saying, hey, look, like what's, not what's working, but where do I possibly see an opportunity? And then educating myself and pulling the trigger essentially. So I think that now I've become a serial entrepreneur, and I'm really passionate about the time freedom that I've created because my real estate business is functioning with or without me. Like I have an incredible team, an incredible staff, an incredible business partner, and that thing functions with or without me. So now I have the time freedom to be able to look for other businesses, and then also I'm passionate and spend a lot more time doing the consulting.
Yeah.
Because I love seeing people go from zero to hero, and I have hundreds of success stories now.
That's awesome. Have any of your students made some good money with this?
Yeah, I think one of my most successful is doing $3-4 million a year
Profit?
Damn. And he started with zero experience, and he's only been in the business, I'd say, under about 2 years out of Orange County. And he was an engineer at the time. When he approached me, he was an engineer at Edison, making like $250,000 a year.
Wow, that's a good salary.
W-2, and I remember it took him, I think it was like 6 or 7 months to make $600,000 or $700,000, and then after his first million, he comes to me, he goes, Nick, I should quit my job. I go, man, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you just made double, triple, right, your salary. And he ended up quitting his job, and now he has a big company in Orange County. He's flipping, wholesaling, rentals, and I think he's doing apartments.
Wow, that's some Wolf of Wall Street stuff right there.
Yeah, and again, I just think that it's an endless amount of opportunity, whether it's real estate, wholesaling, flipping, or any of these verticals that you see online. It's an endless amount of opportunity. You got to look at guys like me or guys like you're the people that you oftentimes interview and say, hey, look, if that guy can do it or that girl can do it, like I can do it.
Right.
It's like the proof is in the pudding. And that's also what happened to me. I saw a guy when I first got started make $70,000 wholesaling.
Yeah, it's all perspective. Do you think there's a cap on wholesaling? Do you think it's possible, to make 25, 50, 100 million a year with wholesaling?
I think it's, one of those things to where I wouldn't want to sign up for that class
Right.
and build out a company to do 25 million. I see it as a possibility. Would I want to do it? No. I would rather probably get into bigger development, multifamily opportunities to be able to, because essentially energy for energy, right? I talked about that, and obviously we understand $50 and $150 and $200,000 commissions, which are great. But if you're able to get into multifamily, major development, opportunities, now we're talking bigger chunks, $5 and $10 million chunks.
Right.
3 to 5 years down the road, possibly, whatever that deal may look like. So for me, possible, but I'd explore other opportunities in the same space, the real estate space.
That's what Grant Cardone does, right? The multifamily stuff.
Yeah, he's all multifamily. I think one of his podcasts he was talking about, he loved the wholesaling, business as well, because he's just like, you're locking these things up for pennies on the dollar and selling them, no risk to you. But he's more, with the bigger, commercial.
He has the big fund, so
yeah, and I think guys like me, it's kind of our end goal. We always talk about it, right? Because it's just like there's levels to everything.
Yeah.
And as you kind of grow, then you look for, okay, energy for energy, what do I want to spend my time?
Yeah.
So I think that, like I said, to answer your question, definitely possible, but I don't think I'd sign up for that class.
Yeah. So you're at a good balance now. Do you think you want to reach that 9-figure level, 10-figure level one day, or are you comfortable where you're at?
Oh, hell no. I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface on what's possible. Like I wake up and I'm just like, I woke up, it's so crazy, 3 times last night. I don't know. I usually fall asleep pretty early, like 9. And I was like, I had to move my workout. I was working out at 5 this morning. So I had to get up at 4 to get, 4:15ish to get to the gym at 5, and then I had a flight. So I was just like, but I live for this type of stuff. So absolutely, I'm not stopping anytime soon. And I think that I'm really blessed because I put myself in a position to like really capitalize on this time before the wife and the kids,
right? And
other responsibilities. So
yeah,
we're going.
Love it, man. No burnout yet?
No burnout. Maybe I got to cut down on the Celsius energy drinks a little bit. Yeah, I could drink a couple of those. So definitely got to cut out on the Celsius. Give myself a heart attack. But no, absolutely not. I'm like hungry more than ever before.
Love it, man. Nick, it's been super fun, man. Anything you want to close off with?
No, and thank you for having me. I think I'd love to share my contact info. I know a lot of people, want to get involved in wholesaling, flipping. Best place to find me is Instagram at FlipKing or at Keep It or Flip It, or Facebook at Nicholas Luevano, or YouTube Nicholas Luevano. And anything is possible. And I'm super blessed and grateful to be able to have capitalized on a business that's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Love it. You heard it here, guys. Thanks for watching Digital Social Hour. See you next time.
Talk to you guys soon.